to LaGrange, Kentucky for our first annual Teacher Olympics, Oldham County.
I mean, this is crazy. We've come this far, and now we have an Olympic Games in our community. Like, what an honor.
We're going to be recapping this evening all the moments throughout these Olympic Games.
Our first event is floor gymnastics, and I mean, what a show of resilience that Mr. Thomas showed in this event. I mean, really, it was inspiring, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I mean, he's worked his whole life
For
this one moment.
Yeah, to be a top tier athlete. Let's look at some clips from his events. He is fluidly moving from one move to another, hardly any transition needed. I mean, he's sticking every landing.
Absolutely. And you know, nobody's talking about the song choice of Taylor Swift, Love Story.
The moves that he's showing you right now, those are moves that have taken years to develop.
Absolutely.
Moves that no other athlete on the planet can even do. So the fact that he's doing them at all, through COVID, through all of this, it's just a true inspiration.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you can tell here at the end, he won gold, and he knows it. He knows as soon as he's finished, he is the champion. He is a gold medal winner. So congratulations, Mr. Thomas. We were just awe-inspired by your performance.
So now on to the next event. Just like students, we only have about 3 minutes to get from point A to point B. You know, there's little things like going to the bathroom or running and making extra copies or going to the office. But the bathroom, that one is key. That's the hardest event.
The fact that they chose to include speed walking at all was a very controversial decision.
Absolutely.
Amongst the committee members.
And you know, nobody talks about this, but you know, we do it on a full bladder.
Yeah.
And so one sneeze and that's an accident waiting to happen.
And then your form's ruined and you're disqualified. It's really a high pressure event. We saw competitors, Ms. Kramer, Thomas McCumber compete this year. We're really proud of her. She's come a long way to get to this point. Miss Moody.
You know, and one of the competitors that came out of nowhere, you know, the dark horse in this whole race was Miss Scott.
Oh, I mean, she came out of nowhere.
Yeah, like her position was one of the last ones.
Yeah.
Her statue is a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
So stride is going to be a little bit less. So she had a lot of, you know, ground to make up.
Yeah.
And she really put her best foot forward
and just decided that the gold was hers.
Absolutely. I feel like she's also a little scrappy. She threw some elbows, I saw, but nothing that broke the rules according to our judges. So
yeah, she did what she had to do to win.
Absolutely.
Our next event we're going to recap is an event that really is a testament to the strength and character of the athletes who compete. We actually got to see the Miss Moody compete in this event, and I mean, we're not shocked that she was successful, right?
Absolutely,
I mean, she is an athlete like no other, just absolutely amazing. And
she hones in that passion, and
as we see here, her form is just flawless. She has amazing form, amazing concentration. She took a minute to collect herself before throwing the toilet paper.
You know, your teachers every now and then like to cut loose and have fun in the school. And so we have our first ever Olympic debut of teacher curling. And as you can see, you have Mr. Lamar and Miss McElroy, who, I mean, they're very, I mean, you could see by their faces right now how dedicated they are to this event. And they're not going down without a fight. Now, I will say Miss McElroy has been dealing with a toe injury, but we did get one solid push. But that toe, I think, really affected her as well.
And I think you can see in the first round, the chair, it curved through the lockers,
And not many people talk about this, but there's lots of toe injuries in curling. So I hear you gotta walk tippy toe when they train with ballerinas. I've heard.
Really?
Yeah, you know the toes.
Mr. Lamar trains with ballerinas. Wow.
Yep, leotard and all.
Wow, that is wild.
So our next event is the high jump.
Oh, this is my favorite event. Like, you know me, I just love a high jump. And this one is
It's
It's just-
quintessential middle school.
Yes.
I mean, it has been in this Olympic Games since the beginning of these
Yes.
Olympic Games. You
Yes,
know, like it is
yes.
traditional
Teacher Olympics.
Teacher
And-
Olympic Games.
Yeah, and there's just something about the top of the door frame that warrants getting slapped.
We have Miss Bond. She is probably one of the best. I would say that she is the Michael Phelps of the high jump. So taking you to this clip, we see that she's stretching and warming up.
Yeah.
And when she goes up, I mean, she elevated
Yes,
up.
it's like she jumped and she kept on going up.
It was
should
amazing.
define physics, really.
Absolutely.
I can't even begin to imagine the type of training that went
And just to
into
think,
specialists for being
little
able to do
girls
that.
and boys in the middle
are
school.
inspired by her. I fully expect almost every 8th grader to be practicing this. Unfortunately, though, we do have to bring up the heartbreaking loss of Miss Scott in this event. She trained so hard, but her height really was working against
I
her.
don't know if it was her knees that gave out or.
I don't know. And we can see she tried. You can see the effort and the determination, and then the fall.
And the utter despair.
The utter despair.
You know, all she could do was just lay there, face
Yeah.
down. So swimming.
Yes, swimming. We got to see one of the most classic Olympic events happen in our school building this year.
And again with Miss
And
Bond.
I know Miss Bond, she showed up for swimming as well.
Yeah.
And you see her stretching here. She actually taught Michael Phelps that warm-up.
Now, we see at the very beginning she has some equipment trouble, which could have,
It could have hindered
made her a little shook.
But she fought through those mental barriers.
And so she hit this event, she hit it running, and she seemed to perform to her expectations, which of course was gold. So congratulations to Miss Bond on the gold medal of water fountain drinking.
This next event is probably arguably the most practical event. Mr.
Really?
Lamar, our competitor in this event, he really showed his diversity in being able to compete in our weightlifting competition.
And it was heavy.
It was heavy.
It was pretty
I mean,
heavy.
paper's heavy, guys.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you guys have ever carried in groceries, you know how difficult mentally this can be. So we see him here. He's lifting. He's warming up. He's getting ready to lift. He doesn't even hesitate. He just jumps in. He just goes for it, lifts, drops, moves on.
I'm pretty sure the grunt
yes,
helps.
Yes.
The
yes.
grunting.
Yeah,
whoa,
and that's something for
pushing
middle
up.
schoolers as they're training for these events in their own futures to think about. When you're lifting something heavy, the more noise you make, the better.
And then our final clip of this evening is our synchronized copying. I don't think many people put a whole lot of thought into this, but teachers are really experts in making copies. Here we have Miss Mooney and Miss McElroy. As they come up here, they unfortunately Miss McElroy lowered her head just a little bit, and that's the difference maker.
And she just had that one moment of the lack of confidence, I think, and hopefully going into her next Olympics she'll feel more confident going into the event. I think that hurt her.
Yeah, so they didn't take home gold, but you know what? They're still silver medal.
Yes, silver medalists, and we could not be more proud.
Absolutely.
Here at OCMS. I hope you guys are just as inspired as we are as we close out our first annual Oldham 2021 Olympics.
These have been great games, pushing us through this, onto the school year.
Yeah. And with that, 8th graders, I just hope you're as inspired as us.